Okay, countdown, ready.
Every morning I wake up to the
Sound
of the
trading
bell.
bell,
My heart
heart
starts to
starts to
pound.
pound.
Daily stock and trading podcast.
Are you ready?
Guiding me through my hopes and
Are you
fears.
ready?
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking
Getting
success.
it ready.
Together we'll conquer, no room for any less.
I don't think people realize how much I
To the sound
have to
of the trading bell.
prepare for this show. Thumbs up, all links here.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
Good morning, Laura.
Making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer,
Pin
no room
message.
for any less. Listen now.
Live chat. I got my water with me.
Morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock and trading podcast in my ears. Guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for
Let me
the
see something
newsletter, let
I
us
need
help
to
you grow.
get.
Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock and trading podcast in my ears. Guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Fears. Copy.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
I was getting a Nike article because
Together we'll conquer, no room
Nike
for
actually, Nike killed it on earnings, just so you know. They did really well. Shutdown officially begins. What are we expecting today? It's October, Olga. It's crypto. It's October. I gotta turn on Do Not Disturb. And it is October. So crypto's gonna be flying. I mean, let's see. BMNR is up 4% to 54. I mean, that's a nice 10% move under if you bought under 50. So let's see. IREN is up 0.13. I think it's, it's bouncing. That $50 mark is going to be a resistance. I just have a feeling on that one. But yeah, I mean, listen, the government is shut down. The world is ending, and the market doesn't care. Experting. What are we experting? Oh, let's see. I'm an employment expert today. I feel bad for these people that kind of got laid off and are. But here's the thing, and I have empathy for them. But I spent, let's see, I started, so my career at Earthlink, I started at Earthlink in January 2007, right before the Great Financial Crisis. And the CEO died a month before I started. I agreed to the job, and I had to give almost a month's notice and to my old job because they were being assholes. It was Comcast. Comcast was just the worst company to work for. Just absolutely, from top down, from GM to anybody that did installs or warehouse people. It was the worst company to work for, and I was very honest, and I hated them, and I told everybody there when I started working. So essentially, Comcast bought my system, and I agreed to work for Earthlink. But I started in January 2007, and the CEO of Earthlink died, and so the CFO took over acting duties. And I wasn't part of senior management. I wasn't a C-suite person. I was in charge of their partnership with cable companies, which they expected to grow, and they couldn't grow. And so they hired me from the cable company. Now, the new CEO came in March, maybe April, somewhere in that neighborhood. I met with him, and he's like, what are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I think we can grow this. And I said, I don't know if we can grow this. I mean, I've been here a couple of months, and I don't see promise. And he's like, yeah. And then he announces half the company, 50% of the company is laid off in September into the housing crisis. So imagine that employment where 50% of the people couldn't find jobs. And I was one that stayed. So for 13 years, I was threatened with layoffs. So furloughing, layoffs, blah, blah, blah. I have empathy, but you go out and find a new job, and you do what you need to do. So, and you should be prepared for this, because it's not like this we've had shutdowns, every year almost. So, I will respond to everybody's email about the Trendspider fall sale. It's no longer a fall sale. But morning, Jacob, Jersey, Carrie, Jennifer. But I will get back to everybody. Everybody waited until the last minute. I don't know why. Nike, we'll talk about that. We will talk about Nebius versus Palantir. I love Nebius. I love the IREN. But this guy, as far as Palantir goes, I mean, look at this is what I love about Seeking Alpha. They will put in the analyst's recommendation every time. He said to sell 193% ago. He said to sell 53% ago. He said to sell at 33% ago. He said to sell at 2% ago. So now he's saying buy Nebius. I think there's better opportunities out there, and I think IREN is a better opportunity out there. We will go over Oklo, because there's news on Oklo. Today, the Energy Department announced this. It's up 1.5%. I think it could be up bigger with some news, but the company still has no revenue. So Target shares jumped. I'm not sure a 1% move in Target, they went 3% up. I'm not sure that's a launch, but it's kind of interesting with the whole EA stuff. I thought this was like telegraphed out there. The stock jumped 36% yesterday. I thought it was already out there. So I don't know. Like I said earlier, we are in October, and crypto's responding well. All of the alpha picks yesterday, it was funny because I got this in Fidelity. Some stocks in my portfolio have hit a 52-week high. They're all alpha picks. And we get a new one at noon today. So this particular one, UNFI, I posted this in a newsletter like a week ago. Was up 18% yesterday. 18%. So we will look at it, but it is down here. Let's scroll down to it. You know what? I'm just going to do this. This was September 17th. We will look at that. And part of that is because here you go. United Natural Foods trades higher. What was this? Yeah. Stock price 24 to 139 in 15 months. I think Coin is a better bet than Robinhood right now, just because Robinhood is worth more than 50% of Coinbase. And I think Coinbase it's expensive, but valuation in Palantir hasn't mattered. Palantir and SoFi is ready to rip. So while I love Robinhood, I'm up 45% now. Here, my notes say. What's the most attractive chip stock? I'll go over which ones I own. Path. We're seeing this kind of play out, and OpenAI is just rewriting the game again. If you haven't seen this video app on OpenAI, this is amazing. I mean, just Shocking. You could make a 2-hour movie in probably 20 minutes right now using OpenAI's new Soro feature. I mean, it's phenomenal. Gold, just best month since January 2012. So, FYI, the government is shut down. I put out there yesterday this, and we'll go over this, because we might be in a month where TQQ makes sense. It might make sense. You know, in July, it absolutely makes sense to do that. U.S. private equity employment, ADP jobs number report added 32,000 jobs. Or I'm sorry, lost 32,000 jobs when we were expecting 50,000. So jobs market may not be as bad as once thought, but ADP is the only one you're getting. So I have a play for the government shutdown, because this is maybe a buy the dip on some credit card issuers, because, you know, I went over with how Stephanie Link likes this one, and how long will the government be shut down? It is official. The government is shut down. Small caps absolutely ripped in Q3. And these are some of the biggest winners. We'll go over that. And I actually did the October watch list yesterday. So, and I had more hair yesterday. Let's see. Do bonus podcast, October watch list. So there's a lot to go over. Morning, Chris. Morning, Mark, Josh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hit record now. I may take off tomorrow, by the way. Just out there. I'll decide later, but I've got a meeting with my accountant in the afternoon, and I just have to prepare for it. So, just FYI, in case anybody cares. Okay, we're gonna close that down. Okay. Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 1st. Welcome to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's the fourth quarter. Got a lot to go over today. We have an alpha pick at noon. Just out there, an alpha pick at noon. Remember, this is a portfolio. You get one pick on the 1st, one pick on the 15th. We've got one at noon. I've got some ideas set later in the show about which one it might be. So stay tuned for that one. Government officially shut down. We'll go over that. Are there opportunities out there in the portfolio, in the core portfolio? Are there stocks that I like? Yeah, we'll go over that. Seasonality, October. There might be a chance for TQQQ in this one. Just putting it out there. We will go over an AI market. We will go over Robinhood. We will go over some other stuff, including Nike earnings, which kind of took me by surprise. Is it a buy opportunity? We'll go over that. But first things first, where's the market? The market's kind of yawning. It's not caring about the government shutdown. At midnight, they couldn't come to an agreement. We shut down. Let me first go over this. Yesterday, so August, I've started publishing real close-up watch lists and going over the details of these watch lists. I started in August. We had one name that was up over 100%. September had one name that was up 85% in a month. I include a Mag 7. This is October. I include a Mag 7 play that has lagged the rest of the market and is a strong buy in the quant, one of the top 3 stocks. I included a couple of sectors that are showing strength and a YOLO portfolio of 4 stocks that I like on pullbacks. So you've got it all there. It's in October. Where is it? Just go to dailystockpick.substack.com, literally. And it's down there, October watch list. You'll see it under the paid. It is a paid one. Do not feel like you need to pay. If you want to pay and support me, pay. Just don't contest the freaking charge, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but as a small business, Stripe charges me a freaking fortune when you contest a charge. So if you're listening and you've contested a charge, just email me. Email me. Because I have to email these people 9 times out of 10. They're like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, it costs a lot of money. So in looking at the whole portfolio last night, I found it interesting in this October watch list because I only have 3 names that are strong buys in the October watch list. There's even one ETF that's a sell. Again, I'm not buying all of these names. What I'm using this watch list for is really to identify 5 names that I like and I'm putting on a watch list. And if they pull back, I'm buying them. That's the way I think people should be using that watch list, not buying the whole thing, even though I'll tout, hey, the whole thing is up. You know, you have to do your own research. You have to do that. So let's talk about the Q3, because small caps ripped in Q3. You know, I love alpha picks. We're going to go over alpha picks, but there were a ton that I've gone over that absolutely ripped in this. And here's the best performing Russell 1000 stocks in Q3. SanDisk, I gave to you, midway through. You didn't make 150% because we didn't get in early. But SanDisk is one, absolutely. Astera Labs, I didn't have this one, but I did have AppLovin. I did have Western Digital. Materials, MP Materials, I didn't have. That's a play on the government's taking control of that one and putting some money in, and it's vital to the government, to the United States. It is what it is. But again, these are stocks that are ripping. Okay, you don't see the Mag 7 going up 150% in a quarter. You don't see Astera Labs, something AppLovin. AppLovin has been in my portfolio since August of last year. Why? Because it's an alpha pick. So again, all of these, GLW, which I gave to paid members in January, that's in there. So you've got a Robinhood, it's down here. Talon Energy, which I went over, that's up 45% just in the third quarter. So there's a lot of names in this list that I brought up, and I'm not a small cap guy. Now, do I own all of them? No, but I own some of them. If the risk fits my profile, I am going into those. And just FYI, the government is officially shut down. Officially shut down. I don't know how many jobs there are. I think it's like 750,000 or something where they're shutting down. But it's officially shut. Yeah, roughly 750,000 federal workers could be furloughed each day, while key economic reports like jobs data and weekly claims won't be released. So your only weekly jobs report is only jobs report is the ADP one that comes out. But I want to point out, okay, how long is this going to do? The prediction markets, they're saying about 10 days. Trump's going to fire a bunch of people. They're going to go back and they're going to go to court and get their job back. How long is it going to be? Your guess is as good as mine. The longer it goes down, the more the market will react. So if you think it's 10 days, and keep an eye on the prediction markets, on Polymarket and stuff, because if that starts to come in, maybe it's time to buy it. Because typically, when the government opens back up, you see a little bump in the market. So maybe play that one. It's not, I'm not particularly interested in that kind of thing because we're not seeing a huge reaction right now. QQQ down is down about 0.5%. That's not a huge reaction for me. VOO down 0.38%. Not a huge reaction for me. So that's just a typical bump in the road. And by the way, if you bought September 23rd, okay, if you bought QQQ September 23rd, that was just 7 days ago, you may be down because we're below 600 on QQQ. But am I worried about it? No. Could be a buy the dip market. And one of them that could be buy the dip is Capital One Financial, COF. You'll remember I brought this up because Stephanie Link, who I fully respect, went over the numbers, loves the stock, and bought the stock. She bought the stock. So she's saying, hey, in my portfolio, I like this one. Well, guess what? You're getting it well below where she bought it. So if that's in your watch list, if that's something that you wanted to get into, some of these financial credit card stocks, why did they fall? Because 750,000 people are losing their job. That's why. And FYI, from a quant perspective, it's 4.91 out of 5. So it's got a huge, huge quant score. It's ranked number 2 out of 38 in finance stock. What's number 1? Catapult. But Catapult, by the way, has a market cap of $54 million. Okay? Your local Chinese restaurant has a market cap of $54 million. Your Capital One has a market cap of $135 billion. I like large cap. That's why I'm not interested in the number 1. I'm a little more interested in the number 2. But for me personally, it's not one that I'm like over the moon about. I've got Goldman Sachs, I've got Bank of America, I've got Wells Fargo. Do I need Capital One? No. Again, this is just an idea, and I'm throwing it out there. I like the analysis that Seeking Alpha did. And like I said, you won't get a September jobs report on Friday. So the Fed will probably have to make their decision based on ADP. And ADP says, hey, we lost fewer than expected. So maybe it's not one where all of a sudden we wind up, getting another rate cut in October. Who knows? It's something to look at. But I want to point out October, we saw seasonally that August and September were lower on the seasonality score. And this is a TQQQ. Okay, this is a chart, and I'm going to bring it up here in Trendspider. Again, if you got Trendspider over the fall sale, which a lot of you have, use the seasonality to your advantage. Set an alert. TQQQ is one I love to look at. Okay, because in July, the mean change over the last 16 years is 12%. Now, in September, maybe it was time to buy TQQQ, even though seasonally it made no sense. But the reason is because October has a mean change of 6.63%, and you win 60% of the months out of 16 years. So what's that, 9 out of 16 you win? That's better odds than Vegas. And it's not like you're taking your entire portfolio and betting on it. You're taking a small portion. And you're going to use something like the 4-hour algorithm, which just got you in back here at 93. You're at 103. If we take a dip and the market starts to dip, maybe this is a time where you start to put some of that little money to work, because maybe it makes sense. And again, I point that out here, on Twitter. Now, gold is still a thing. We're in October with crypto. I'll go over that in a little bit. But gold closed its best month since January 2012 on U.S. shutdown fears, rate cut expectations. Gold markets are now leaning towards a bull case scenario where the price rises to 4,200 by mid-2026. That would be a big move. And you have a ton of gold stocks that I brought up. IAG, you've got SSMR, you've got some, there are some in the Alpha Picks portfolio. But I want to point out, we are in an AI market, okay? This particular video is from OpenAI. Everything in this was created with AI. There is nothing real in this. This is clear. OpenAI is leading the charge now with a whole slew of new things. This crazy video it's all AI. This will be all over your feed if you go on social media. I want to see rubber ducks racing like it does here towards the end. I think it's towards the end. Let me see. Yeah, I want to see rubber ducks racing like this. That's awesome. But we're seeing OpenAI again change the landscape. They unveiled this new Sora video editing app. It's going to be huge. And FYI, they have to limit the people that can actually sign up for this. The reason is Because everybody's aunt and uncle, your racist uncle is going to start doing KKK videos. He's going to start doing some shit on there that they don't want done. And so they're limiting it because you know what? It costs a fortune to make a video like this. The actual power, the actual compute power, everything. It takes a fortune to do this. And they've got money. What are they doing? We're seeing OpenAI partner. So they don't want people getting out of the app. They're using the ChatGPT app. And UiPath surges as it reveals new collaborations with NVIDIA, OpenAI, Snowflake, and Google. And UiPath, is this one you want to invest in? For me, again, the valuation doesn't make sense. 20 times forward earnings, it's not bad. The PEG ratio of 1.61, but the growth. They're growing at 8% revenue year over year. I don't like it. Does it have a trade in it? Maybe. Path, I think. Yeah, Path, UiPath. 4-hour algorithm got you in at $11. And where are you right now? You're trading at $13.50. Where does this candle go up to? $15.15. So if you bought the hype yesterday, you probably lost money. But again, Shopify is one that I think is going to be great. If you look at this one, yesterday they announced that they were partnering with OpenAI. We'll put on the after hours here. You can see it popped on the news and then it couldn't hold it. So I think it's great. Etsy, in fact, wound up losing yesterday, even with this news. So who's going to benefit? Well, maybe UiPath does. Maybe they do. But for me, it is clear who's going to benefit. It is the companies that invested in OpenAI. It's OpenAI that's going to benefit, not their partners. That yes, they are big enough that if they bring small caps in, they're going to do something. Shopify is not a small cap stock. It's a smaller stock and they're going to get benefit from it. But I think Microsoft, which owns a large portion of OpenAI, remember, OpenAI had to get Microsoft to sign off. I think they own a bunch of it. I just don't know how much. But you want to know who else just invested in OpenAI with that circular money routine? It's NVIDIA. And NVIDIA was up yesterday. Guess what? OpenAI is changing the game and NVIDIA is partnering with them. So my picks, again, for OpenAI, it's Microsoft and NVIDIA. That's it. Seeking Alpha as what's the most attractive chip stock right now? I have NVIDIA. I have been very clear. I own now AMD at about 160. It hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. Am I getting out? No. It was identified as a long-term play. Again, that's one. So I have NVIDIA, AMD, and Credo. That's it. That's it. So again, pick your winners, identify the tools that you need to have in order to make these decisions, but understand it. Now, kudos to everybody with Robinhood, because if you're like me, congrats to those. If you got it under $100, it went crazy again yesterday. It was up 4% based on the prediction markets. The prediction markets are doing well. And FYI, Robinhood is there for prediction markets. My initial purchase on September 5th that I did is now up officially 45%. And this particular chart shows you Palantir. Look at what Palantir did. Boy, doesn't it look a little familiar to Hood? Doesn't it look a little familiar to SoFi? Don't miss out on the names. Again, if they fit your profile, go and get them. And the 4-hour algorithm, you can use it on SoFi. It just got you out with an 89% gain. 89%. It's just since June. Robinhood, it hasn't gotten you out, got you in here at 114. You're trading at 143. So even if you missed it under $100, the 4-hour algorithm got you in at 114. Wins 48% of the time. And SoFi we just went over. And if you want Palantir, 4-hour algorithm makes you a little bit of money, 493%. Buying and holding does better. But you got to have conviction. And if you're going to stay in those names, you're going to have to deal with volatility. And a name that I'm in, Coinbase. Robinhood is now worth 50% more than Coinbase. Coinbase is going to get into the stock game. They've talked about it. They want to be an app like Robinhood, focused on Bitcoin with some ancillary stuff around it, like stocks. And so that's why I'm in Coinbase. So again, I've had thesis, I've played it out, I've journaled it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But don't forget, Robinhood stock price of 24 to 139 in 15 months. The earnings multiple cut. That's what healthy growth looks like. Don't count out Hood. Again, with those earnings multiples being cut, maybe they get so much hype it goes back up. I'm here for it. Now, one that I'm also here for, Alpha Picks. I was clear on this, okay? I posted this right here. Go down this. This is September, let's see, it's September 17th. So it's not even 2 weeks ago. And if you scroll down here, and I talked about this because I bought a big into this one. Let's see, Hood, Lilly, I'm going to go down, Meta, Qualcomm, BMNR, my personal portfolio, PSIX right there. Alpha Picks winner that I've been trading. The Alpha Picks portfolio has it down 3%. I'm currently up 10% on UNFI. And what happened yesterday? Stellar earnings up 20% more. To quote JD Vance, have you said thank you? Have you said thank you? Because I brought this up. Again, I started buying on the 4-hour algorithm, UNFI. And if you missed it, again, maybe you're not in Alpha Picks. Trading it as an Alpha Picks winner at 26, currently at 37. Again, I bought on the 4-hour algorithm. Did I buy down here at 21? I didn't. Didn't have confirmation. I liked it going up. I thought I missed it. I bought again back here. I missed out on that 20% gain, but I bought it back here too. So now I'm winning on that one. Again, choose what your strategy and then go and implement it. Because it's clear. My strategy has been very clear, and I'm very open about it too. So, and there are plenty of Alpha Picks that are 52-week highs, okay? This one right here. This is a snapshot of my Fidelity portfolio. And I got an alert yesterday that Alpha Picks, these are 52-week highs. Allstate, ARQ, ATG, they're all Alpha Picks. Okay? There are plenty of Alpha Picks that are at 52-week highs right now. The more you wait, the less likely you are to be able to buy dips on these quality stocks. And I go over Alpha Picks performance. Go and click on Linktree. Just go and click Alpha Picks. Go and look at the performance. They have it up there. This is an old one. This only goes to September 11th. I think we're even higher than this. 240% versus the S&P at 74%. Don't be surprised today, okay? I want to make some predictions. Don't be surprised if we see another gold pick today, okay? Maybe Newmont Mining, maybe BTG. Go over to Seeking Alpha and research those two. You may even see one that is the strongest, the highest small cap stock, which my friend works for, VSAT, via satellite. I forget what the name of it is. The VSAT is the symbol. Go and research it. Maybe one of those three are today's Alpha Pick. We'll find out at noon. And welcome to October. Everything's pumping in crypto land. Yesterday I said, hey, BMNR, should buy it under 50. It was under 50. Did I buy it? No, I'm waiting for the 4-hour algorithm. I'll wait for it. Am I going to be upset buying it 54 when I could have bought it 50? Well, I bought it under 50, a bunch of it. So I'm okay. Again, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I have identified these as just buy and hold. I'm not going to make the mistake of selling again. I am now Michael Saylor. So again, strategies differ. We all don't wear the same underwear. And that's it. And I thought this was already telegraphed, by the way. LAC, U.S. to take stake in Lithium Americas energy sector, it pumped 33% after this was announced. I thought this was already done. We can look at the stock chart of LAC. I thought when it went from 3 up to 7, I thought it was done. Well, you're back at 761, even higher than this. So that pullback was pretty healthy. 4-hour algorithm got you in here. Would you have gotten in? I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, okay? The 4-hour algorithm makes you 46%. Buying and holding over 2 years, it actually loses you 70%. You haven't even gotten to the 200-day, which is $13 on this stock. And the U.S. wants to take, some of this thing. Again, does it make sense? It's not my strategy. It's not my thing. But I look at it. Want to know why? Because maybe it does become my thing. As we start to turn that 50-day and those Bollinger Bands expand out and the MACD starts to take off, maybe it's got 13 in there, because back in 2023, again, stock charts seem to have a memory. Does it make sense for me to buy into this? Well, the quant says it's a hold, but it's never been a strong buy. It's never been a strong buy. It's been a hold ever since it was valued. Now, Wall Street says that it's a buy, but their price target is $4.80 and you're trading at $7. But just like MP Materials, and we can look at this, MP, which I brought up as a huge winner, just like this one, that went from 19 to $70 or $80. It went crazy. LAC might be the same kind of thing, and it hasn't moved that much since. It hasn't gone up 800% yet. So maybe it's within your risk tolerance to look at that thing. Now, I'm not a fan of Target. I am not. This headline kind of shocked me because Target shares jump after Fox Business flags as potential PE target. We saw EA Sports. We saw it yesterday just jump 30, 40% over this time when private equity was taking it out. Target, there's rumors, could be taken out by private equity. It says it jumped. It was up 3%. For me, it's not something I'm interested in. But you're going to see headlines like this, and you're going to say, oh, let me go into there. Do the research. I don't like Target. The valuation is incredibly cheap. I don't shop there. The growth, they are actually losing revenue year over year. They are not growing whatsoever. Their profitability is perfectly fine. But the momentum, which is one of the most important, sucks. Have we reached a bottom? Well, Target for me, I haven't looked back. If you get back up to that downward trend line, that would be a huge move. And where does that downward trend line come from? Look at how deep this has fallen. And yes, for weeks, for months, I was saying, maybe we can get back up here. Maybe to 181. You're trading at $89 right now. Not my thing. And you may say, Gary, you miss out on a lot of this stuff. Energy Department names Oklo, 3 others for nuclear fuel line projects. Oklo, we know that the energy secretary was on the freaking board of Oklo. He might still be on the board of Oklo. I mean, there's so much grifting going on in the administration. He might still be there. But Oklo, even though it's been a winner, okay, Oklo, you can look at it year to date, it's up 425%. It's not my thing. Want to know why? Because the stock went from $7, 1,970% move with no revenue. None. It's not like they bumped up their revenue. It's not like they changed their forecast. You've got a CEO who's just pumping this one. I don't like it. I will like it when they start showing results. I'm not that hype guy. Even crypto to me was scary. Now it's mainstream. So you guys know I loved Nebius. Which one would you pick, Nebius or Palantir? This article goes over it great. He's saying Nebius offers a compelling story for AI investors while Palantir is overpriced. FYI, he's got a sell on Palantir. This is why I love Seeking Alpha, because I just looked, okay? Palantir, since he first put his sell rating on November 20th, 2024, it's up 193%. He then put another strong sell rating on it, February 14th, 2025. It's up 53%. He then put another sell rating on it. It's up 33% since June. And he finally puts another one up, and it's up 2.7%. And I'm not bashing him. I think the same thing. It's extremely high price to sale multiples. Every multiple on Palantir tells me not to buy it. So I'm not chasing it. Am I chasing Nebius? No, I'm chasing IREN because the valuation makes sense to me. And Nebius, it does seem a bit stretched. Even IREN seems a bit stretched. But the reality is I'm looking less at the valuation, more at the growth. So you've got to figure out which stocks in your portfolio you have a thesis on. And let's bring up a thesis right now, because one of the Dow stocks, Nike reported yesterday 20% running business growth. Well, 20% growth from zero is pretty good. And the stock is up 5%. But it's still expensive. And you can just, again, how does Seeking Alpha make this easy? You just go over here, look at the valuation, and it's got a D. Well, then I go over and I know enough that the PE of 43, when the sector's selling at 17, it's number 4 out of 11 in the footwear. Rocky Brands is the number 1. By the way, this has a $224 million market cap. Your local Chinese restaurant, like I said, they might not have a $222 million market cap. But again, it's too small for me. But this is one that's been growing. And you can see the growth is just not there. So do I want consumer discretionary in footwear? Probably not. I mean, Deckers is one that's been taken down to the shed. It's down 50%. Imagine loading your money into Deckers at the beginning of the year and having the market up like 20% and you're down 50% in your portfolio because you invested in a shoe company. Again, what research are you doing? For Nike, for me, it's just too expensive. And if I go back here, what I really like about specifically Seeking Alpha, you saw this pop when the call started, okay? Well, let's look at the chart real quick, because the actual results didn't say anything about the stock. We're going to go to a 5-minute chart and we're going to see this. The actual results didn't show anything. It was kind of just fluttering. And then the call started at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and the stock took off. Why? Because it was the talk from the CEO. And I love Seeking Alpha because they basically give this AI overview of the actual earnings call. And you can look at everything. So again, these are the tools that I use. You saw me use Trendspider a lot yesterday. You're seeing me use a lot of premium and alpha picks today. At noon, we're going to get a new alpha pick. Remember, the bundle is the best opportunity to make money in this because you can research using premium. But if you just want alpha picks and you just want the portfolio, that's one too, because you get full analysis of those stocks that they pick. And at noon, we're going to get one. And then if you just go to dailystockpick.substack.com, the newsletter, okay, we can look at this. Because if I just go, education portion, alpha pick scalping, these are the rules that I'm going to use today. Okay, wait for it. If it's around 500 million in market cap, it's going to move. I like that. If it's like $1 billion, $2 billion, it might not move. Pull up a 1-minute chart, 5-minute, wait for confirmation and buy it. Once it loses confirmation, even a 1% gain is going to be good. But I'll be there probably at 12 o'clock on Substack with you guys. I won't mention the stock. Just don't tune in thinking that you're going to get the stock. You're not. I'm not allowed to say what it is, but I'll be there and I'll tell people what I'm doing, but I'll do it after I actually do it. So if you have any questions, again, everything's on Linktree. You can get Trendspider, the 4-hour algorithm. You can get it here, even though yesterday was the end of the sale. And if you missed it, shame on you. But you can get it for $50 a month. You know, the standard, as long as you sign up for the annual plan. I'll send you the 4-hour algorithm. You can save 32% using this link. And then Premium Alpha Picks, that's the next link down there. It's the best value because you save 159%. And if you don't want Alpha Picks, say, prior to having Alpha Picks, I was one of these guys that didn't want somebody telling me what to buy and sell, like News Trade. I didn't want that. I wanted to actually know what I owned. I wanted to do the research, blah, blah, blah. So Premium made sense for me. And you can get a free 7-day trial on Premium. So don't miss out on that. That's on Linktree as well. And then, by the way, Webull. I'll show you my Webull account because it's October, and this is heavily into crypto. My Webull account, I started with $1,000, and you guys know I've been struggling to get over $14,000. Well, there you go. 14,128. Sign up for Webull. Put a little money in there and do a little play account. And if you don't want Webull, do a little play account in Robinhood. I have it all on Linktree. And I even went over the other day why I didn't like Verizon. Want to know why? Because I have Visible. And you can get Visible and save $20 off your first month's service. Okay? And check out the plans. The plans are fantastic. 25, 35, 45 bucks. I love it. I have Visible. This is the plan that I use. I get a free watch on my plan. So again, $45 for a watch and unlimited premium data on the 5G network. That's the top plan. If you're paying Verizon like 70, 80 bucks a month for your service, why? It makes no sense. And that's why I don't like Verizon stock. Cell phone plans are a race to the bottom. The only one that's been doing really, really well is T-Mobile. And FYI, T-Mobile is an Alpha Pick stock, and it's been in there for a very long time. Is this a stock that you'd love to hold since 2020 when it was trading at $58? Not for me. So again, understand the research that you're going to do, understand exactly what you're doing, and get the tools that you need. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Even on Linktree, my email address is right up there at the top. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Say bye. Bum, bum, bum. So yesterday's show was better than today's. Again, I know what I want to say, and people will get stuff out of today's, but let me put this into podcast, new graphics. There we go. I've got I did something new in Canva yesterday too. I've got a new one. So, I don't want to put that in yet. We're going to, I think this turns me green. Let's see.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 1st. Welcome to the fourth.
I think I look like an Oompa Loompa.
Back in 2023, again. Years is.
Yeah, I look like an Oompa Loompa. God, I gotta get my hair white. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna take that out. And we're gonna put this in. There we go. Oh, I probably should take that.
It is Wednesday, October 1st. Welcome to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's the fourth quarter. Got a lot to go over today. We have an alpha pick at noon. Just
put in this one too. Wah, wah. We'll put in this one. Wah. There we go. Do export file. Oh, I didn't, let me, what is the title of this? There we go. Copy. I gotta put this up top. And we're gonna name this save. Morning, Eli. Welcome back. Hood baby. Is Unify now a strong buy? It was a buy. Yeah, they got upgraded. I think Pilgrim's Pride is also in this. No, I guess not. That's an alpha prick. Let me see. What's Pilgrim's Pride? PPC. That's a buy. This one is just tanked. I mean, it did really well, but it has tanked. It's been in alpha picks for a little while, but I think overall it's still down. So, morning, Lisa. Larry. Ooh, it was adequate. Yeah, I don't think it was great. I don't think it was fantastic. YouTube thumbnail. Let's look. What's the October watch list? Will it outperform again? Let's see all. Which one do I like? Yeah, we'll do this. Elements, uploads, we're going to put in. Put in this one. Do, 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 do. I see my light moving, which means that one of these two is. Boy, you scared me. I didn't expect you back.
I have to go to my hairdresser.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Do. Let us there we go. What's this? Archivo black. Let's do Archivo black. We're gonna keep all the same. Do. Let's see. Uploads. Let's see. We're going to put Trendspider in there. And we're going to put upload seeking alpha in here. And what did I go over? Oh, we went over uploads. Didn't go over Apple today. Uber, Netflix. Netflix is dipping hard, and I like that one. I like to buy that one. Meta, Amazon. We did go over Microsoft, so I like Microsoft. Microsoft, Nvidia. Uploads. Supermicro had a good day yesterday, too. I probably should ask Steve about that one. What does he think about Supermicro now? Uploads. AMD. Broadcom, Micron. Oclo. Let's do this one in white. Oh, let's change this to one color. We did Oclo. Okta, Fubo, Rigetti, Robinhood. Robinhood. Coinbase. Interactive Brokers, Coles, Perplexity, Figma. I should do OpenAI. Credo, IREN. We'll include this one. And where's OpenAI? I know I have an OpenAI one. Could have sworn I had an OpenAI one. Let me see. Open. Maybe not. OpenAI logo, transparent. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, where am I getting this file? I'd say upload, save as, there we go. OpenAI logo. Let us put this in here. Downloads, OpenAI. Okay, bye. Let's delete this. Let me see if I can change that to white. Yes, sweet. How do you go about getting into a stock that's past its price target? Come up with a thesis on what you think the price is worth. Is it growing more? I tend to kind of stay out of stuff. That is past its price target, but I find if I have a strategy that works, then I'll get into it. But a good example is what's one that I bought? Coinbase, maybe. Let's see. 370. No. I can't think of one that I bought past its price target recently. Because I try and use that as a good tool. But, for our algorithm, if a strategy works, like, MSTR, this doubles and it gave you a buy today at 322 and you're at 330. This strategy doubles what buy and hold does. So if the strategy works, you have confirmation and your 50-day might turn around and hit the 200. That might be an opportunity. But again, the thesis for me has always been, if I want to get into a stock, I don't care what the Wall Street price target is. You look at something like Palantir. Wall Street has been wrong about Palantir the whole way. And their price target today is 150, 15% downside. To come up with a reason to buy Palantir, have at it. If there's a reason to get in there. I don't think there's a perfect way to figure that out though, Larry. That's my honest opinion is, I use it as a guide. And do I want to add something to my portfolio with risk? Or should I just add to a stock that I already own? I mean, that's the sense, if you're looking to add a stock to your portfolio, is it going to give you more gains than ones that are already in your portfolio? Again, adding to my portfolio, it has to be a good opportunity. And I'm quick to cut those. So for me, the Wall Street price target does come into play. Okay, I think I'm done with this one. I should have put Trump's face on there, but oh well. I've got to actually go because I've got to get ready for my... Oh, you're welcome, Larry. Happy to help. I just don't know, you've got all of this information, all of these, indications as to, okay, should I buy? You're always going to feel uncomfortable buying. And I don't care. Even at A+ setups, I'm still nervous buying. I mean, the amount of money that I put into some of these stocks, I'm like, shit. It used to take me a year to make that amount of money. I'm comfortable enough to know that it's not going to zero. But if I lose a couple $1,000s, I lose a couple $1,000s. If I lose tens of thousands of dollars, it hurts a little bit more. But again, I'm kind of quick to look at the strategy helps me determine, that's one thing. The quant helps me determine, that's another thing. Some of the analyze with AI stuff, that's another thing. And again, you put that all together with a thesis and you write it out in your journal, and it makes you understand, okay, this is why I'm putting it in. And then next week, if something changes in the thesis and you're down 10%, and again, that's why I say have the bottom number that you're willing to live with and the top number that you're willing to live with. And if it's a thesis like long-term, like AMD, my thesis is that AMD will outperform NVIDIA over the next year. So am I selling it if it gets back down to 91? No, I'm not getting rid of that one. You know, I tend to like this one. Is it perfect buy? No. Look at the weekly, look at the long term. But I'm playing this 4-hour algorithm, and it got me in at 160, and I got in at 160. You know, it's only at 161 right now. It does bump up against that 164. But for me, again, it's just kind of, you know, without knowing which stock specifically you're looking at and what your position is. That's why I try not to give financial advice, because I'm not, you know, you're not me. And that's what's hard about, you know, hey, Ed, let me ask you about this stock. My friend texted me this morning, I have money. What should I buy? And I said, crypto, you're in October. And she was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with crypto. Then why are you asking me? So, okay, with that, I am out of here. I got to finish uploading this stuff and writing the newsletter. Remember, the watch list is out there if you want to see the October watch list, and I might be back at noon. So keep an eye out for Substack. Okay, talk to you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.